The agenda is God. Spirit of compassion to the forefront. It has been disclosed and clarified to me through my life, through living, that when people say choose a master, you can't have both, love one, hate the other. In the Bible, they utilize the scriptures to push this agenda, but it's misinterpreted, because in the end of the day, we all know who the master is. It's God, the creator, who created this realm. No one else. So why are you declaring anyone else the master? They want to try to pin that this God master is Satan. But no. Satan goes. Even Satan understands he's not the master. Satan, the demons, all of them, they know they work for the will of God. God wills it so for specific reasons. And one is to know that you should not be attached to anything. This period of isolation is deliberately done to know that the only thing you should be attached to and working towards is God. Your connection to God, to source of creation. You want to think, yes, it's to shape you and to strengthen your spirit in the hellfire, in your storms that you're facing in life. That's part of it. But it's really to eternalize that God is in you and around you, that Jesus has stated, which Jesus has stated. Yeshua, Yahuah, and know that Elohiym, God, is the creator, and that he does have unconditional love for you, even though at times he shows his wrath and he may be perceived as a war god. But that's throughout time within that book, through the Old Testament, New Testament. But it's all just history. It is history. It's his story. His story. You understand? It's about God. The glory of God. And the love that he has for all his creation. And to showcase that he is the ultimate transmuter. He transmutes all evil back into good, because all things are good. We are all good, ultimately. No matter how much mistakes you want to highlight in your own life or the other people's lives, it is still imperfectly perfect in God's eye, because he created you specifically like this. He created me specifically like this. He has influenced me to divinely say these things in my bodies of work, in my music, to know and to share with humanity that there are not abominations, that God understands that nature calls to each other, and it's our own natural process that we're shaped a certain way and to grow in a certain fashion, and that our path is our path alone to take, that is divinely ordained by God. And the angels who are charged by God to help along the way, to help humanity, to help individuals to become better each and every day. And to know when you're sinning, that is already void. It's already churned and changed for the betterment. That it is still good. Because Jesus has always said God is within you and around you. God is capable of turning every sin back into good. You have to fight, not fight, but work each day to clean yourself, to set things in order within yourself, to internalize who you are in its whole form, in the light, in the dark, because God shines His light and His love always. Through light, through the dark, the sun and the moon. Light always shines, even in the darkest of corners, because God shines. Life is everlasting. God's life and love is everlasting. It's not about attaching yourself to this world, to this existence, to other people. Because in the end, you're going to lose it all. But what you gain is infinity with God, with heaven. If you decide to embrace that for yourself. No clergyman, no one can determine where you're going to go after this existence or this reality or whatever this is, because it's temporary. They are temporary as well, but their duty, as well as anyone else, is to bring people closer to God and not to try to detach them from God. And unfortunately, some people use the Bible as a tool to reshape and mold people further from God and more on what they think that person should be, instead of allowing God to work within them the way that it was intended in the first place. To understand that nature's call of that person, it cannot be helped. To what you desire, it's nothing wrong with it, but it's how you operate that matters. We all should be operating from a place of love and compassion, the spirit of compassion, from a higher vibration of consciousness. So when we do act in these ways, we're doing it from a place of accountability, a place of love and compassion. And for people who are Christian, the Jesus Christ consciousness, or for anyone, labels matter not. What matters is that you understand and operate from a place of godliness, from a place of cleanliness. That's what matters. Your connection to God matters in the end. Jesus understands when he was here that everyone don't have the same interpretation or perspectives of God or religion or belief systems. That's why he used parables or used fables, teachings, moral stories, whatever it took for people to elevate their consciousness to a higher vibration, to reconnect or connect to God, to the state of God, to the state of compassion. That is what is wrong for us all, to act on our own volition, to work towards a better person, a better state of being, each and every day, connecting to God and letting God guide them. So in turn, they would choose for themselves God, to operate with the Holy Spirit. I am not here to or say that, hey, that's the only way you should go is through Christ or or Christianity or whatever religion. But why not investigate it for yourself? Because that's what I'm doing. Just look into it. And if after then you still don't want to take that approach in your life or adopt those teachings into your life, that is up to you. That is up to you and God. I want to say that all roads, to be nice and compassionate, say all roads lead to God in some form of way. Because God is infinite. He has multitude of ways of reaching his children. And I'm going to say it like that. But at the same token, it doesn't, who's to say that how that book, the Holy Bible, or any form, but it's particular, I'm talking about the Holy Bible, who said that that's not real or the proper path that we should be taking? It probably is. It may be. But what I can say is that for my journey, for my life, me reading that book, or parts of it, has enlightened me on some levels to come to terms with God, to come to terms with myself, and know that God is the ultimate wielder of light and dark, and he changes and makes everything good in the end. They wanted me to adapt that Satan is the God of this realm, and it's not. Satan is a worker for God. He does his bidding even when he don't believe he does, because God always turns it all good again, because that's all God is. Life. Look into nature. It's the same thing. Creation, destruction. It goes back into creation. It goes back into life. Somehow life stems from the destruction. Because in the end, God always prevails. Good always prevails. Love always prevails. Which is God boundless. Love is love boundless. Which is God. I had to realize that for myself, because I was in a state of depression, thinking that I just feeling like I'm always having to battle oppositions and the principalities, all this different stuff about the holy wars and stuff. It's about coming to terms with yourself. The demon versus God, angels and all that stuff, is really just the battling of yourself. You need to come to terms with the cold, hard facts that you're running away from. Everyone does. This is what God wants. That's why we're in this state, in this place of isolation. So we can come to terms with the wholeness. That was the whole plan all along. That's why God allowed Adam and Eve to eat of the fruit. He knew they were going to fall for it anyway. He just wants to know, would you still choose God, even after being revealed the truth, the whole truth of everything? Or would you become prideful and continue to be prideful, thinking that you could correct God or correct the nature or this existence, or think you're above God? But be aware Sooner or later, you will be humbled. And understand that you should be ruling with God, because God is love. And once you know this, you become part of God. Even when you don't think you are, you still are, because it's about creation. We are all his creations. And we were made to be good. You was never an abomination. I was never an abomination. I've already talked long, so I'm going to end it right here. I hope people get it. It's up to you.